Let's say China.
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 China. China.
There are next door neighbors, and you can actually see Russia from land here in Alaska.
Go over to China.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
Trump's tweeting out insults to Angela Merkel. What's he doing?
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your host.
Yes. Hello, and welcome. I am James Andrews, and you are listening to So This Happened, the only news you need if you use a time of natural catastrophe to promote your brand. It's Tuesday, the 29th of August 2017, and today, Sean Spicer finally got to meet the Pope. That's right, the man's dreams came true. Sean Spicer's dreams, not the Pope's dreams. The Pope couldn't give a fuck about meeting Sean Spicer, but Sean Spicer's dream was to meet the Pope. And you'll remember when the Trump administration was in Rome recently, Sean Spicer was sort of set aside. And Donald was like, no, you know what? I think to meet the head of the Catholic Church, my Jewish son-in-law and my Jewish daughter would be a better fit than you, Sean, even though you are a massively devout Catholic and meeting the Pope would give you a massive hard-on. Is that wrong? Is it wrong to say you get a hard-on from meeting a religious leader? It probably is, actually, isn't it, now I think about it. So, okay, Sean didn't get a massive hard-on, but I suspect there was a little twitch in his trousers. Anyway, finally got to meet the Pope today, so well done, Sean, I suppose. And speaking of religious leaders, but this is one that will certainly not give anybody a hard-on, I suspect, is Joel Osteen, the ostentatious... Oh, I like that. Joel Osteen, the ostentatious preacher from Houston who has the absolutely massive church and the house, which is even bigger. Well, the preacher decided that it really wasn't, in the interest of the church to let people come in and shelter. Now, a mattress shop did, a furniture shop did, a number of other businesses said, look, if you don't have anywhere to come on in. Joel Osteen's doors stayed firmly locked. Well, after a massive amount of pressure on social media, where they painted him as basically the devil, which is definitely not the image he's going for, especially with that angelic smile, he decided to open the doors of the church and let people in who had lost their homes. Now, he went on social media and other news outlets to defend the fact that he hadn't opened the doors to the church originally, and his response was complete bullshit. He said, well, no, we would love to, but the church was completely inaccessible, despite the fact that all day on YouTube and Twitter and Facebook, people were posting images of them walking around the church saying, this is not inaccessible at all. Look, there's hardly any water here. I'm walking around, so why are the doors not open? Well, it looks like Twitter did God's work for him this time, because the massive amounts of pressure put on Joel made it so that he opened up his church, and so people can now go there and shelter from the storm. Which is probably something he would say, come to my church and shelter from the storm. I don't think he sounds like that. What does he? I don't know what. Can we play something? I don't know what he sounds like. Okay, here's some Joel Osteen.
Mine's based out of the Scripture. That's what I believe that the Scripture says, that homosexuality is a sin. So, I believed it before, and I still believe it now. Again, I would just reiterate what I said. I'm not mad at anybody. I don't dislike anybody, but respecting my faith and believing, in what the Scripture says. That's the best way I can interpret it.
Oh, he's one of those people that says, it says in the Bible, it's a sin to be gay. And it doesn't, does it? It really doesn't. And it's one of those things that people have talked about 1,000 times. But nowhere in the Bible does it say you shouldn't be gay. The word's not used in there. The closest it comes to it is where it says, sleeping with another man. But right after that, in the same category of sin, is wearing wool and eating shellfish. So on that video that we just played there of Joel, he is actually wearing a wool suit. So that motherfucker is sinning and he's going to hell. And I bet he went out for a lobster dinner afterwards. Fucking hypocrite. Anyway, he opened his church, so what does he want? A medal, a monument? Because he's doing what he was supposed to do in the first place? Fuck off. And speaking of people that I suspect want a medal or a monument for doing something that they're supposed to do, Donald Trump flew down to Texas today. And before we go any further, the situation there is looking terrible. It's a lot worse than anyone thought it would be. The flooding is just tremendously, it's awful. And so, again, our thoughts for everyone to stay safe there in Texas. But Donald Trump flew in today with Melania, and if you look at the photographs of them boarding Marine One to fly down to Texas, Melania really looks more like she's going to a catwalk than a disaster zone. She was wearing, I think, 6-inch stiletto heels, which, you know, everyone was saying, oh, why are you wearing heels? That's stupid. Well, let me defend Melania for just a second. She heard that it was flooded in Texas, so smartly, she said, all right, I'm going to wear heels. That way I can walk through the floodwaters without getting the bottom of my trousers wet. So while everybody else was saying, what a ridiculous thing to wear to a flood zone, I say, no, what an incredibly smart thing to wear to a flood zone. 6-inch stiletto heels keeps you out the water. Fantastic. Well done, Melania. And for those of you who foolishly think that maybe Donald Trump just went down to Texas because that's what the president should do and there was no other agenda, well, I'm afraid there was another agenda. There's always another agenda. You may have noticed in the last 2 days, Donald Trump has been sporting a new baseball hat. That's right, the Make America Great Again red thing that sort of balances on his head looking so fucking out of place, it's ridiculous, has been replaced with a white hat. Now, come on, don't make anything of it. It's a white hat. It's not me. That doesn't mean anything, okay? Just a white hat. That's all it is, a white hat. This one says on the front, USA, and on the side, it's embroidered 45. On the other side is an American flag embroidered, and on the back, it says Trump. Now, this hat is a very special hat because this is the brand new, official USA 45th presidential hat. It comes in red and it comes in white, and you can also purchase one of these by going to the official Donald Trump re-election website, and there you can purchase this beautiful hat for the small fee of only $40. And if you go to the website, you'll get met by this: the only place online to purchase the official USA rope hat worn by 45th President Donald J. Trump himself. And I have to say, it is one of the ugliest hats I have ever seen. You know the rope hat, right? You know what we're talking about there. It's sort of the baseball hat with the rope that runs along the inside of the peak. Sort of looks like the old captain on the ship. A fucking ridiculous looking hat. And $40, $40. $40 for a shitty hat. This one is actually made in the USA. It does, well, it says that on the website, but this is also Donald Trump's official website, so I would take that with a grain of salt. And this all just goes to show that Donald Trump is always going to be a businessman first who is pushing his own financial agenda. There's no reason to wear that baseball hat down there. It looks absolutely ridiculous. He has to look in the mirror and go, I look like a twat. I shouldn't wear this hat. Melania, God bless her, she should look at him and go, Donald, you look like a twat with the hat. That rhymed. Twat, hat. Ha ha. You like my shoes? 6 inches. I'm not going to get fucking wet. That wasn't a very good Melania Trump impression. But you see where I was going with it, right? And of course, Donald Trump picked the driest place he could possibly find to give a mini speech when he first arrived in Corpus Christi. And let's have a little listen into it, shall we?
Thank you, everybody. Thank you. We love you. You are special. We're here to take care. It's going well. And I want to thank you for coming out. We're going to get you back and operating immediately. Thank you, everybody. What a crowd. What a turnout. I want to thank our governor. Your governor has done a fantastic job. Governor Abbott, thank you very much. Who's right here someplace? He's right here. So we just want to thank your governor, Senator Cruz, Senator Cornyn, everybody, Dan. We want to thank the whole group. This has been a total cooperative effort. Again, we will see you soon. I will tell you, this is historic. It's epic what happened. But you know what? It happened in Texas, and Texas can handle anything. Thank you all, folks. Thank you. Thank you.
Now, is anybody else as disturbed as I am by that? He sounded like he was a fucking rock star. He's up there going, hey, what a crowd, what a turnout, you fucking love me. Guys, well done, thanks for coming. Look at this crowd, look at all the fucking people to see me. It is not about you, Donald Trump. Not even a little bit about you. This is about the people who have lost their property, their homes, and God forbid, their relatives and friends. And you have turned it around and made it about you. That speech was the most unsympathetic pile of shit I have ever heard in my entire life. Look at this crowd. Wow, you guys love me. It's fucking disgusting. Oh, it's got me all angry now because that really is disgusting to see someone get up there when all these people are suffering and to make it about him saying, you've all come to see me. This is epic. This is awesome. This is the biggest thing that's ever happened. And even yesterday, he was starting to make it about him. He tweeted out that this is a 500-year storm. It's epic. It's massive. Essentially, what he's saying there is, look, I have to deal with something that no other president in the history of America has dealt with because this is the worst thing that's ever happened. It happened on my watch. Fuck yeah. Well, if something really bad happens on your watch, it's not a good thing. It's just not a good thing. You can't turn that around and spin it and say, wow, look at this. I have to deal with something that no other president has ever dealt with. In 500 years of US presidents. Donald. The country has not been around 500 years. Right, yeah. But it's epic, it's big, and thanks for coming. You guys, you came to see me. You're wonderful. Thank you. Now, I know some people are going to give me shit about giving the president shit. But I make no apologies when a man who is supposed to be leading the country gets off the plane in a natural disaster zone and makes it about him saying, thanks for all coming because you came to see me. Well done. You managed to, fucking swim out of your house to come here and see me. You love me. You really love me. And while Donald Trump is standing there in the dry, waving a Texas flag saying, you guys are excellent, you guys are super, people are putting videos like this on YouTube.
Here we are. This is our neighborhood near Antoine and Tidwell. This is a river now. We have placed a purple scarf at the window so that people will know we need a rescue. We are here with Rosemary, who is so nicely, a neighbor has asked 4 neighbors in because she has a second floor and we all didn't, and she is just a wonderful, wonderful person to do that. We are all here being neighbors, and we would love a rescue, but we have been calling 911 since 10 o'clock this morning, and there is not an answer at all. So we don't even get an answer. So here is downstairs. You can see it's about knee high on the first floor, and we are trying to keep each other company and lift our spirits as the alerts keep coming in. So please come rescue us. Thanks.
And that is the sound of real people in Texas who truly need help. Not the people that went to cheer and shout for Donald Trump on high ground. And that's where I want to end today. I urge everybody listening to go to www.redcross.org and make a donation to the people who are suffering from Harvey. If there are other websites that are taking money, do that as well. We just know that the Red Cross, we know where that money is going to go and we know it's going to be used correctly. Anyway, thanks very much for chatting. It was a good conversation. It's an unfortunate time right now for a lot of people. But we'll do it again tomorrow. And hopefully things will start improving in Texas soon. I'm sure as soon as Donald Trump fucks off back to DC, it will start getting better. Anyway, we can continue this conversation on Twitter, so this happen. And don't forget to subscribe and like to the podcast. And we'll do it again tomorrow. All right, good night, folks. Bye-bye.
Mais soy famoso.